What up, y'all?
Welcome
To the J&O Show.
where we talk about
Yo, this girl is going off on this man. She was like, we got to work as a woman. I got to cook. I got to clean. I got to take care of the kids. And you over there sitting on the couch, scratching your butt and sniffing your fingers. I'm tired of it. I'm sick of it. And I ain't doing it no more. Wait until you see this clip. It was wild. It was crazy because he said, period.
Period.
And you know when a man say period, it means something happened. Yep. But we got some comments on this joker, bro. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good.
So you're telling me that a woman has to go work like a man every day, and a man goes work and he's tired when he gets home. A woman's not tired. She has to clean, cook, do the dishes, do the laundry. Are you kidding me?
Why don't you want to do that? What?
the way they edited that.
The reaction. Why don't you want to do that? It sounds great to do so much work.
Yes.
What's wrong with you? Wow. We just running into another issue with the way we doing dating now and the way that women are moving just in life in general.
This is where it gets complicated.
Mm-hmm. This is just another way that it's causing issues in relationships because now that women are doing what men do, it puts a very stressful situation on the house because now they're expected to be 50% of the income for the house, which means they're working, just as many hours. They're not doing part-time jobs anymore. This isn't everybody, of course. There are women 100% that's not working, only working part-time and all, but a lot of women are like very career oriented. And this is one of the stresses it brings to the house because then if they're trying to be modern, but at the same time be traditional, they putting a lot of load on their shoulders.
Yeah.
And this is sort of the issue that's happening. And the reason I say women is because this is not what men is asking for. Nope. Men didn't ask for women to go to work and be bosses and be super educated and to be anything. This is what women wanted. Yep. But I think this is a consequence of that decision that they didn't see coming. I don't think anybody saw it coming, to be honest. I don't think men thought about it either. Nobody did. The imbalance that it brings in the home when it comes to workload. So this is just one of those things and we got to figure it out.
Do you remember when we were watching Love is Blind, the new season that's out? One of the girls on there, she was talking about basically like her dating life and just her life is not what she anticipated. And she said something that was really key. And we've talked about this before. She was like, I went to college and everything like that. And I just basically knew I was going to get married. Like I was going to find my husband basically in college. She was saying her mindset was she was going to college.
Yes.
To find her husband. Yes. And it was a Caucasian woman.
Yeah.
And I thought that was very interesting. And this is something that we've spoken on before, and I think I will continue to speak on it. Don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with us. When I say us, I'm talking about melanated folk going to college as far as women and getting our degrees and everything like that. But I think the mindset as far as other cultures, especially in the Caucasian culture, like their thought process is like, I'm going to college, yes, so, because I want to be educated, I want to have my degree, but I'm also going because I'm trying to find my husband.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because they understand the importance of having that family, of being married, having the nuclear family where you have a husband and a wife and you have your children, and starting that foundation, I don't want to say as soon as possible, but sooner than later. They understand that, like, listen, even we may not get married while we're in college, but I need to at least find the person that I think I'm going to be with. We need to be establishing ourselves or whatever, so that we can lock it down.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I just found that to be very interesting. And that's why I asked that question, because I feel like I see that a lot from our melanated sisters, not saying that I don't see it from the others, but I feel like you
see it more from us by percentage wise.
Yeah, definitely see it more from us.
What are you talking about? Why don't I want? You know how fucking tiring that is? Have you done that?
First of all, I do it every day.
First of all, fellas, do not choose a woman who don't want to be a woman.
Right.
So you don't want to be a woman. No, you don't want to be a woman.
Yelling doesn't mean you're winning an argument. It's a sign of low intelligence. You can lower your voice and speak to me. I'm sitting right here.
Where do we get these things from?
Bruh.
It's not a sign of low intelligence. It just means you done got pissed off. You got triggered. It don't mean you're dumb. You ain't dumb because you got triggered, man. Like, yo, we be just coming up with the most random stuff.
Bruh.
Watch. I bet you he gonna be yelling. Watch.
Right here, I can hear you.
You're yelling all the time.
Men have different responsibilities.
But that's-
So all this, I cook and I clean and that's part of your function. But when your tire is flat, my function is to make sure you have a new tire.
But
when
that's
your
what
car
I'm
need an oil change, it's my job to make sure these people ain't ripping you off. We have different duties and functions and responsibilities. And if you don't love your duty, your function, your responsibility, you're not fit to be a wife. Period.
Period. I appreciate your period. I appreciate that, homie. I do. I'm not even gonna cap. I appreciate the period. I do.
You know what though?
What do you think?
I think I kind of rock with him.
You see, you kind of rock with him?
Yeah, no cap. Like when you really think about it, what he say, fellas, don't marry a chick who don't want to be a woman. That's what he said, right?
Yeah.
Or don't want to be.
He went there. Yep, he went there.
I don't think most women, I won't say any, because there might be some out there, but I don't think most women necessarily are like, yes, I'm excited to get up and clean the house.
Right.
You know
No,
what I'm saying? Do
true.
the chores and this, that, and the third.
Okay, true.
You know, don't get me wrong. Hear me, ladies. I don't think that's it. However, I do think that there's a certain mindset switch for women who are marriage minded or who would be considered wifey material. They have an understanding that I am the woman, this is my home, this is my responsibility as far as taking care of my home. Not saying that men can't do certain things, you know, chores can't be divided and everything like that.
She still don't do the clothes, man. I don't let her do the clothes in the house. Nope. And she don't really let me, but she don't let me near no stove because I ain't trying to burn the water that I'm boiling.
Bruh.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, we good. Go ahead.
So it's just like we naturally are the nurturers and caretakers. And one of the ways that you take care of is, yes, you cook and you clean. You cook because you want to make sure that your family is not eating a whole bunch of crap. And for those who can't cook, they learn how, or, you know, at least they try.
She trying to say, and she right, if y'all only knew how many sticks and leaves I done ate ever since I married this woman. I'm about to grow.
Really?
I'm about to grow plant roots out my butt. That's what's happening right
Really?
now.
Yep. Really?
But that's the thing. Naturally, she already would be like, we going to the supermarket and me and the kids is just like, oh, I want that. I want you too. I definitely want you. Those the powder donuts. We gonna grab them. And she like, and my wife is like, you ain't looking at the ingredients on it. You can't have it. Look at the ingredients on this. Look at this. Can you even pronounce that word? That's why we can't have it. Nope. And I think that a lot of women, and I know it's not all women, but a lot of women do that. And you got to understand, when you don't do that, your family does pay the price.
Yeah, they suffer.
Because nobody is looking out for the health of the family. Yes. There are some families where the men are doing it, especially if they're in their health and fitness, period. But I think that society has always been in a way, it was set up where the women would do that because they were home and the men will focus on just bringing home money. And that's what happened. You could ask her, like, when I'm in here editing videos and doing whatever, bro, I'm like here. I don't want you to talk to me. I just want to get it done. And I have a hard time stopping to eat, to use the bathroom, to do anything I need to do because I'm trying to get it done. Like, I'm focused on that. So I'm not going to be thinking about like what we have inside of the cereal or the granola that we're eating, or, you know, are those organic blueberries, or is it like, I'm not there. And I think that we're missing that balance because women and men are trying to fulfill the same role in the home. And it's causing issues. And I mean, we really got to just figure it out. I believe biblically. I'm reading through the Bible in a year. I'm probably going to do it in like 6-7 months though. And I've already gotten to the point where I've gotten a good idea, because I'm already in like 2 Kings. And I've gotten a good idea of how the homes were set up. And there was a reason why it was set up a certain way, because the women would be like, bro, if you gonna go out there and die, like it's so many dudes out here just dying in the field trying to defend stuff, a lot of times for stupid reasons. A lot of these kings and stuff, they stupid. But that's the way that it was. And because we're so comfortable and we're no longer in that space trying to figure out how to deal with that, because men no longer have to go on and die. So a lot of the privilege that men had in the home was because you might not even come home. If the king, president, were to just come out and just be like, X, Y, and Z is happening, you could just be gone. So they gave them a lot of respect in the home. That's no longer the situation we live in, fortunately, for now. So how do you balance all of that? The man is still responsible for protecting. And it would just be like, if you're going to put your life on the line when you hear some bump in the house, if you're going to be the one to go, because I can tell you, if I really hear a bump, I'd be like, click, clack. One time I did it, and I heard my wife go, "Dang," because she just heard the click clack from the thing. She just heard the click clack. She was like, "Dang, what are you doing?" I was like, "Somebody about to get popped off. That's what's about to happen. Yep. You stay here. If you hear some bang bang, you go get the kids. That's just what it is." Yep. And she was just like, "Okay, well, I guess he going. Let's pray ain't nobody in the house." Those roles still exist, but it's not like it was for a very long time. Yeah. So we're just trying to figure out how to balance it because it's a little different now. That was rough because a lot of women say that. Yeah. I don't think it's fair and all of that other stuff. And
what I will say is I understand where she's coming from.
That's what I was about to say.
In the sense of like in households where it has to be that way. As far as where you need two incomes. And a lot of us. And let's be real. For most of us, that's a situation where you do need two incomes to be able to live. I'm not even talking about like be out there balling out of control or whatever, but just to be able to live not in poverty. You know what I'm saying? Like for the most part, you do need two incomes. So I do understand her saying like, okay, well, if a woman is out here basically working a full-time job, a 40-hour plus work week or something like that, and then she's expected to still come home and do all of the wifely roles, like it can be taxing. It can be exhausting, and it's going to affect the relationship of the family dynamic. The late great Kevin Samuels. Okay, he actually said something one time, and it stuck with me because he said that pressure is made for shoulders and not hips. Basically saying like it's not really intended for women to be able to carry both of those loads. It's one thing you working part-time or what have you and you're helping to contribute to the household versus if you don't work, something is going to happen to your family because you need both incomes. It wasn't necessarily designed that way, and to be honest, I feel like it's harder for women to be in that feminine space if they have all those responsibilities because they're not allowed to rest in that feminine space. If I have to work, like I have to basically help provide and I have to do this, like they have too much on their shoulders basically at one time. They're not necessarily built for that.
I'm trying to do this quickly. 2 points. Number one, a study was done not too long ago talking about inflation and the cost of living. And they said because of inflation, we are now earning about twice as much as we were, say, in the 1970s and 60s. So the average person was making like 30 grand and he was able to have a house, a car, all this other stuff. And now, we're moving closer to that 60 grand. So we are like almost doubled or something like that. But yet the cost of living has quadrupled. So we're now expected to do more with less. So the cost of living has gone up 4 times, but what we're making only went up 2 times. So it's not even. So we're not able to get the same for the amount of money we have that we used to. So that's one major factor that's playing into everything that she's saying and that he's saying. My second point is one of the big issues that we're having, a lot of it because of social media, is that we are asking for excess and we're not asking to be able to just live good. Like we want excess. We want the ability to be able to go out, to be able to buy stuff and all of that other stuff. And I think that a lot of people don't think part of the reason that Americans are looked at as being spoiled is because we are among the top 5% richest in the world, as long as you make like 40 grand or something like that, 30 grand, something like that. If you're making $30,000 in this country, you're amongst the top 5% earners in the world. But yet we're complaining all the time. And a part of it is because we have horrible spending habits. We don't know how to handle money. And we also want excess. Everybody wants to upgrade. Everybody wants to be rich. Everybody wants Louis Vuitton and Gucci this. And everybody wants, everybody wants a Rolls Royce and everybody wants a Ferrari and everybody wants a mansion. And everybody thinks that they should have that. And we're judging and dating based on whether or not you can provide this exorbitant lifestyle. And I think that is causing a lot of the havoc that they're talking about. The reality is you can make simple choices. What is more important to you? Is it more important for you to have a good home where everyone is, well, I was going to do happy, but where everybody's content, you're able to live your role and everybody has a little bit of what they want and everything they need? Or do you want to try to go for excess? Because the reality is most of us are not going to be able to get excess on the level that we think we want.
That sucks.
But what are you willing to give up trying to get it? And will you be okay if you fail and you don't have the family and the husband and all of that other stuff? Are you okay with not having those things, trying to get it, and then maybe never getting it? And, you know, a lot of people just be like, man, I want to be in love. And that's all I'm worried about. You know, a lot of us don't talk about it. I know it's a passe thing in this genre to talk about love, but as long as the Bible say men love your wife, husbands love your wives, that's going to sort of be my mantra. So, oh well.
Well, if you made it this far, go ahead and comment down below, hit that subscribe button, turn your post notifications, and give us a thumbs up so that way YouTube knows that you appreciate what we're putting down.
What we're putting down.
Okay. Hey everybody, down in the description, there are 2 links.
One is to a GoFundMe, and the other one is to a video that explains what the GoFundMe is for. Mm-hmm. Long story short, we have a medical situation with our daughter that we have to pay for everything out of pocket, and we could really use you guys' help. If you have the time, we'd love for you to go check it out. If you have the money, the funds, we'd love for you guys to help. If not, maybe you could send a link to somebody else who can help. We thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Peace.
Press the out button.